Hey everybody, this is Rich Hanlin. Welcome back to Mortgage Ballers. And today I want to get it right. Is it Bouchard?
Bouchard.
Bouchard. I knew I was going to get one of them wrong. Vanessa Bouchard. Vanessa, thank you so much for joining me and bringing your time today. Welcome to Mortgage Ballers.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me, Rich. It's a pleasure to be here. Love this platform. I appreciate everything that you're doing for expert LOs out there. Anybody that jumps on these and sees them on YouTube, this is just, I'm so excited to be a part of this.
Well, it's what's making it work is we're having real conversations with real producers from all over the United States, and we're learning all these little tidbits of we're all in different markets, but yet somehow we all have the same economy, we have the same rates, we have a lot of similar issues, and we're trying to get business, but something's going on out there, Vanessa. I'm telling you right now, since January 1st, we've seen an influx of transactions. The best 2.5 months so far. Today is what, the 14th of March, and so the best 2.5 months of imports that we've seen since we opened the company. Something's going on out there. What do you think it is?
It's exactly what you said. Something is happening, and these are the exact conversations that I am having out in the streets with realtors, with my CPAs, with my lawyer, everybody. There's a fire. There's a fire that's been burning. I think anybody that missed out on that September, October opportunity that wanted to do something and then was waiting and waiting. And I mean, I am out there screaming at the top of my lungs, don't wait. The return that you will get in that first year is going to be more than what waiting is going to cost you. It's that simple.
Yeah, we got this rubber band and it has been just pulled, and it's so much pent up energy, it is going to spring back. This is like my 5th time going through markets like this. I've been doing this too long, 35 years. Went through the 2008 crash. Yes, I'm old. Who cares about me? I know people can see it right here. I want to know, first of all, where do you live? Where do you call home?
Home in Windsor, Colorado, Northern Colorado market, which is a very competitive market. Lots of LOs here, lots of business. We've got lots of building happening, which, as you know, drives sales, and we've got lots of influx of people coming up to Northern Colorado. I think a lot of people are kind of sick of the Denver market and the fight over homes and stuff like that. We are quite there, but it's becoming a very popular place to live. And as I see why, I love this area. I love the mountains that are right next to me. I love the weather and the snow when it's cold and hot in the summer. So I get why everybody's coming, but yeah, something's happening. There is a fire burning that is ready to ignite, and I am so here for it. And I'm so ready to help educate people and get them to that point.
Tell me this, how long have you been in lending?
Not very long, and I came in probably at the most inopportune time. I got licensed in October of 20.
That's the way it always works.
Right? It was one of those. So I had a business partner. I've been in sales most of my life, and he was like, listen, Vanessa, this business is for you. You can do this. Like there's a lot of possibility here. I'm saying this because I want to, because I got in with conversations of, what does this job look like? I keep fighting and fighting and fighting in this corporate world, and I was sick of it, and I needed flexibility. I have 4 children. We are a busy family. 2 of them are very young in elementary school still, so it was a choice that I had to make. So I came in, ripping and ready to go for 23, and 23 and 24 were very hard years. Still closed a handful of loans. I'm very proud of the accomplishments that I've had. I'm so blessed to work with the people I did, but it has not been easy. I'm not going to lie. And I think that that's what makes me a better loan officer is times like that. Because I don't know what a refi boom, I don't know what that is. Cake lending, like I have not had the opportunity to see that yet. But let me tell you, I'm ready for it when it comes.
I would challenge you. I don't like the far ends of the spectrum either way, like the 2.5%, 1.5% rates. I knew that wasn't going to last. I'm like, no one's making money. The people making the loans, like they're not going to keep doing this. And then the feast or famine side, like we're on right now, when rates go up and people kind of stop, there is a happy medium somewhere in that 5-ish, 5.5 range where everybody accomplishes what they want and they feel comfortable. And we're probably going to fit back in that range. Incredible range is 5 to 6. It really is. That's normal. I have people say, well, I'm never coming off my 2.5. I'm like, cool, but you owe $250,000 on the mortgage, but you owe $200,000 on these cars and credit cards at such a high rate. Like your life is your budget at the end of the month. I can't emphasize enough with people, and they try and isolate the mortgage way over here. It'd be stupid to ever pay that off. And I'm like, it would be stupid to pay it off if you knew how to control your expenses. But since you don't, and you live like everybody else, not by yourself, we all do it. But since we can't control this side, I mean, the average car is $60,000, $70,000, $80,000. You're going to have an $800, $900. I had somebody the other day, $1,000 car payment. That was before insurance, gas. So I'm going, good Lord. Just crazy. And add 4 kids on top of that. Those kids want some food, I have a feeling.
They're hungry. They're hungry. I got 2 older girls, and they're in sports, and they're eating regularly. I mean, you're telling the exact same thing. And, these are the hard conversations that we're out there having. If you watch, so talking about getting out on social media, I do a video every Friday. I put myself out there, and it's not usually mortgage stuff. It's about real life crap that we're going through. And I tell people all the time, I'm no bullshit. Like, I will tell you, I'm sorry, but your $1,000 car payment is costing you a $400,000 house that you want to go out and buy. What do you want to do? Do you want do you want to live in your fancy car? Or do you want to go out and buy something that's going to retain you asset, value, legacy? There's so many pieces that go involved in it. And so trying to create that bigger picture and not offend people by telling them that they don't need a $1,000 car payment, they need a house to provide to their home or their family. And that's a hard conversation, and I'm doing a lot of those. Right.
There's nothing wrong. I don't tell people what they want to hear anymore, because they're getting cheated of what I know between my ears. That means I'm just trying to make a sell. There's some people I tell them, you're not ready to be a homeowner. This is what I would like to see, because I think you're going to fail. Or you're going to need to pick another area because you need to be more in this range. Well, who are you to tell me? Like, I'm like, well, no one's going to tell you apparently. Yes, but since I've been through bankruptcy, since I was a stock market, since I was a financial advisor, I was a stock broker, I've been a real estate broker. I've seen thousands. Okay, let's go tenth of thousands of loans. And let me tell you, I get to analyze all of them. And there's a failure point where you're setting yourself up. You can't even take one hit financially. Both you and your wife are barely qualifying. If one of you we're using bonuses and overtime, like all of a sudden, I'm not going to do that no more. Oh, so we're just going to keep, we qualify people off the gross amount, not the net amount. That to me is a problem. It's always been a problem because that's not what they bring home, right?
Yeah.
Crazy, crazy, crazy. I want you to tell everybody, because I know the answer to this, but you're part of a team.
Part of a team. I'm part of a pretty
What team are you part of?
I'm part of Altitude Home Mortgage. This is our team leads are Ken Schmidt and Stephanie Gilbert, as you know, one of the top producing.
Ding, ding, ding.
Agents. Yeah. But you know what? And when I joined this team, I had no idea. To be very honest, like the person.
Oh, you didn't know that? Okay.
I didn't know that she was one of the top producing agents at Expert. I'm pleased.
Let me correct that real fast, Vanessa. She's one of the top in the whole United States. She is. When I got that interview, I was interviewing probably one of the top 50 in the United States. Probably one of the top 10 females, but probably one of the top 25 to 50, because I haven't seen the final numbers. But that was capturing her for a little bit. Anybody aspiring to figure out how this business is supposed to be done and still have a family, still have a life, still smile, what an incredible platform that you've joined. And Ken's in there too. I'm actually going to be interviewing him not too far from now.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. It was funny when we got your email, when you kind of launched this all out. We were sitting with our team over in Pontiac at UWM. We decided to go out there. Everybody, we got some people doing some leadership. Right. A couple of us were doing the pre-classes, personal growth, stuff like that. We were as a team, and I was like, what a great thing. He wants to interview just you, our team, like all of us individually. Oh, what a pleasure. It is incredible to sit in tables next to these people and to have conversations. And let me tell you, they're real people. We were just sitting there. We had drinks and we were talking about what are we going to do next week. We're spitballing ideas. This is such an incredible group that I've come upon, and I am so blessed to be part of this team. Not only this team, but more this market. And I'll say this all over Northern Colorado, because it's so competitive, it's either you eat or get eaten or you support. That's the two differences. And I sat in a room just last night for some wonderful producers, agents, LOs in the area that all got awarded from a magazine. And that was basically the ambiance in the whole room. Is we are so blessed to work in such a great market with such amazing people that all support and encourage each other. There's plenty of business out there for all of us. We know it. And building those relationships, which is so much, like you said, I'm not the girl to go do 25 cold calls. No, I'll do 10 warm calls, and that'll get me some really interesting conversations. It'll set up future meetings and things like that. I am the same as you. I would rather learn from better, smarter people. None of us are really experts in this field. We are doing the best that we can. And some of us have more years of knowledge and have seen more things that others of us haven't, but we're all learning together. And I think that that's the best thing, is keep supporting each other, lifting each other up, building relationships, because as you can see, it's thinning out. And I'm blessed to be one of the people that's left here and still hustling and grinding and doing everything I can to make it in this business.
Yeah, I was amazed. Somebody posted in our private Facebook group that at the end of 21, there's 423,000 licensed loan originators nationwide. As of this year, when they redid that poll, there was like 93,000 remaining. Real estate agents last year, 2024, I think only 28% of all licensed real estate agents did at least one transaction. A lot of people are, I want to say they leave the industry, but it becomes a part-time or I have a license in case it ever comes back, but it's not a full-time gig for them anymore. They've had to pay their bills, and I respect that. I've had to do it as well. We all have these ups and downs, especially earlier on. I could tell you the average age of loan originator is like 46, 47 years old. Nobody new is coming into the industry. It's who wants the ups and downs, right? There's a trade-off for success. And we hear and see, like, well, we see the stuff on TV. Oh gosh, look at all those $1 million people in Hollywood doing those big houses. But it's not ugly like that. I don't live in that world. We have people that do more transactions here than the people that you see on TV getting shows. And I laugh at it because I'm like, people like Stephanie Gilbert, I guess she's too boring for her own show because she's so relatable. You know, they want all this controversy. It doesn't have to be that way. I don't want to, I couldn't work if that's how it really was. I need to be more level-headed, and I get to meet incredible people, and we help incredible, hardworking people, and that's good enough for me. So.
And think about it in terms of who people are. I mean, most of us are not that rich elite people out there. I know I am not. I mean, I can sit in my jammies in the lobby at UWM with, Stephanie Gilbert, and we talked about our families and things like that. She is real people. To most of Americans, they would rather have that. People don't like the drama. They don't like the fluff. They don't the nonsense. They don't like that you say that they're pre-qualified and then you go to close a loan and it doesn't happen. So you got to start from the bottom up, the structure. Are you providing good customer service to your people? Do you care about your transaction, or are they just a transaction to you? I can assure you, every single person that Stephanie picks up the phone and talks to, they appreciate that connection that she is providing, that service, that level of camaraderie of having the ability to connect and have a conversation. That's what consumers want. They want somebody that's real, but it is supposed to be entertained. I watched Selling Sunset. I mean, I got to admit, they'll take pleasure. Everybody's got their something. But yes, in terms of real Americans out there trying to make a better life for them and their families, you need a Stephanie Gilbert or a Vanessa Bouchard in your corner to do so.
I like it. I like how you threw your name in there. I like it.
Well,
all
I
right.
gotta put a little bit
Let's do this out there. We're talking loans, but I told you I was going to push you a little bit. I want to know, and you touched on it a little bit because obviously you talked about family, but when you're not in loan mode, when you're not meeting realtors, when you're not going 100 miles an hour in business thought process, what kind of things do you like to do? Who is Vanessa outside of that?
Well, I mean, I love being a mom. I do not like being a stay-at-home mom or anything that COVID bring with all that stuff, but I do love my kids. That is the why, my family. But I really, what feeds my heart is community involvement and and taking action and doing stuff about stuff. So I sit on a couple different boards here for towns and organizations, and that keeps me really busy being involved there. But the relationships that has created over the last 5 to 10 years in my community, and it you can't explain it. That's become one of my other whys is I do lending so that I can keep these relationships and do that stuff and be available for those events and things of that nature. But I love to travel. I've got a real solid group of girlfriends that we've known each other since college, and the ones that you can get blackout drunk and go to church the next morning with. So we do
edit.
We edit, Mark. We go on trips pretty regularly, and we explore and try new things and enjoy life and do that together. I mean, I'm an outdoorsy kind of person living in northern Colorado. We've got tons of trails, lakes, parks. I mean, I'm outside. I'm walking my dog, and my husband's fishing, my kids are fishing. We're just enjoying slowing down. I think that's the biggest thing is because I'm so blessed to wake up and solve very hard problems all day long that my joy comes from being able to take a breath and take a beat and slow down, which I work most week. This job is 7 days a week. Like I know where Stephanie's at and how many calls she makes and everything, but for me, I still have to grind in this job, and that's going to be probably another 2 or 3 years before I have the luxury of doing that. But there's a little bit of guilt that comes from that. So the balance and trying to understand and learn that I'm starting to understand. I have very good mentors and leaders that have showed me kind of the way to do so. So yeah. So in my free time, I like to slow down.
I like it. One thing about a good mentor, the top loan officers at Expert Home Lending, most of them have had coaching or currently still doing coaching. And that's a testament because you're like, wait, you're at the pinnacle. And they're like, yep. And I still have somebody hold me accountable, keep me consistent. And it's like these success attributes keep showing up, even with the best of the best. And that's what I love because they're sharing that. And what I'm reading between the lines is a lot of similarities because I can tell based on, before I even get with the top people, I'm like, I could almost write 3 things down that I know they're doing because they're all very similar. They've gotten to a point, it's part of their daily routine to do these things that once were hard. And now it's like, you know what? It's like clockwork. They feel weird if they don't do it. So I love having these mentors and real people. They're legends, but yet they do exist and they share and they're very good at giving back, which Stephanie's incredible at. I'm going to ask you some deeper stuff that maybe might push you a little bit. Let's find out this one. How about this? I'm going to pick one here. I liked some of these. These came up yesterday. What's a lesson you learned the hard way, but you're now grateful for?
Oh, that's a great question, Rich.
Take your time. I know that was off the cuff.
You smack me in the face with a good question. I had to learn the hard way how to really grind in this business. The last 2 years have been probably professionally the most rewarding, but also the hardest. This is the, first time in my professional career that I have had to be I am my own boss. I am accountable to me. It is on me. And I always knew that I could do it. I was that person that was always like, oh, I'm going to get to that next step. I'm going to be the hardest working person in the room. And then your actions and your hard work and everything would fall on deaf ears, or you'd be worse off, a year later than you started. And I was just like, why don't I just go do this for myself? What's something that I can do for myself? So when I finally started to invest in myself, it has been a challenge. It is hard. And I still learn. I'm no expert. I am doing life every day. Like Stephanie said, I am better today than I was yesterday. I try to learn a lesson every single day that's going to move the needle forward. And eventually, 10 steps turns into 100 steps, turns into 1,000 steps, and I'm there. But this was a hard transition going from being in the corporate world, then going to COVID, and then deciding to get my license and then go out and create business in the financial industry. never thought I would be any kind of financial person, but look at me now. I'm all grown up, and this is what God has put on my plate as what I'm going to do. And let me tell you, the joy from being able to have those real connections with your clients and your customers at the closing table and then beyond and multiple transactions later, which I've already done, is that washes all the nonsense of this business away. All the hard, all the hustle, all the grind, all the negotiating. It is a blessing I wake up and I get to do those things so that I can relish in the amazing and incredible journey that my clients are taking. And I help facilitate that. I'm just a vehicle.
Well, I love it. I love it. It you're very inspirational. My mom was huge. She was such a hard worker, and she instilled that in me. So I think it's incredible what your kids get to see. Life isn't always easy, but they get to see what their parents are made of when life isn't easy, and they're going to go back and go, "Is that what was going on back during that time? Because wow, you really were a rock star." And it instills into them like, well, my mom never gave up. If that's truly what was going on back then, wow, she made some changes. We really were important. She wanted more out of life, and she made changes that benefited us, and so I love that. I had one in here that I've had specifically for you. Yes. Mm-hmm.
And yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, basically it goes like this. Where'd it go? It's right here. Oh, there it is. I wanted this one for you because you've made some self changes, but if you could give your younger self a piece of advice going back in time with what you know now, what would it be?
I mean, buy real estate, of course, but earlier, sooner, quicker. Other than that, because I know that's a pretty common answer now that I'm in the industry, not waste so much time trying to earn the respect out there that you knew you already deserved. Does that make sense? I tried so hard to please people in the corporate role and be that person for everybody. Oh, you want me to do this? I can do it. I can do it. My shoulders are broad. They're wide. I can carry all these burdens. I didn't do it for me. When I got into this industry and this business at 38 years old, I was like, now you're finally doing it for you. How hard are you going to work? You've got fight left in you. Go out there and get it. And I keep doing that every single day. Going back to what you said earlier, this is not a part-time gig. And trust me, my husband thinks it is. He thinks I hang out and have conversations and chit-chat on my laptop all day. I mean, he gets the grind. He sees it after hours and all the things that I do on the weekends and stuff. But it's hard to really anybody that's outside this business to know which time and effort does go into it. And, and that if you don't get up and I don't get dressed and fix my hair and put my makeup on, that I got to be ready for a meeting at a moment's notice. I got to be ready to run into and have a conversation with anybody at any point in time during the day. So I am on. When I wake up, and I'm like Stephanie, not a morning person. I do not like getting up in the mornings. I hit snooze 3 or 4 times, but I have children and I get up and I go to school. So as soon as I get them off to school, boom, we're ready. It is LO time. I am on it and I'm in it until at least noon, checking emails, being with, having those conversations with realtors, following up with people. And then usually I save the afternoons for any kind of business meeting that I have to have. My intention is to have 2 or 3 a week. Sometimes it's more, sometimes it's less. We're all just doing the best that we can. And it is, I would tell myself, go back and believe in yourself sooner. Work harder for you sooner, because this is the fruits of your labor in just such a short period of time.
I love it. And thank you for sharing that. I would challenge you that I was scared to death to become an entrepreneur. I never knew that side of life. My parents weren't entrepreneurs. They just exchanged time for dollars. And it was regular, it was consistent, but I also saw some layoffs at a time. I saw my mom go through multiple jobs, trying to better herself to get up the ladder with a high school diploma, being a divorcee when she had 4 kids and had to kind of figure it out. I'm unemployable at this point in my life. There's no way for me. I would rather wake up and fight for a transaction. And there's been months, I've gone 3-4 months without a deal when it got tough, but all of a sudden, boom, I stayed consistent and bam, all of a sudden I have 4 or 5. and that I live off the averages, not off the highs, and I don't live off the lows. I know what my averages are, and I stay consistent. I have my success formula. Everybody has a little bit different. We were talking about that, all the different coaching. I've done so many different coaching things because I take a piece from each one. People think, Rich, what's your education? I'm like, oh, well, what do you care? I guess I have a finance degree from Cal State San Bernardino, but that has nothing to do with the education I've gotten after that, because I learn, I try so many things, and I fell at a lot of things, but yet I do learn as I go. So my failures are actually learning experiences. I have a PhD in trying, and it's helped me learn a lot of different things that I put together over the years, from search engine optimization to all kinds of stuff, everything having a leveraged plan towards hopefully gathering business. I try and surround myself with multiple things that work and have worked, because I never know which one's going to bring in the next deal. But if I'm sleeping, there's still something out there that relating to people, because everybody, whether it's social media or whatever, we assume everybody, people are working 9 to 5, right? So they don't have time to go watch a video. They're going to be watching it 10, 11, 12 o'clock at night when I'm sleeping. So I put that energy into that video and I explain something, and it's forever there. It's evergreen. It's going to be here a day. It's going to be a month. It's going to be there a year from now. This video, 2 years from now, when you're a top 25, we're going to go back and be able to see who was Vanessa before she became a top 25. And we're going to compare the two. You'll probably have sunglasses on, the whole 9 yards, be a star. But
Yeah.
hey, you know what? You have made it just about through the hardest times that someone could come in, and you are right there. The optimism is there. The deals are starting to change. You have the second biggest state of expert, but you know where your number one is? Average loans per licensee in the state of Colorado is the highest of any other state. That's what's amazing. And I mean, it's like night and day. That is our busiest state versus how many people are actually living and licensed there. We have so many incredible, talented people out of Colorado. And then you find out Stephanie Gilbert lives in Wyoming. I'm like, wait a minute. But yet you're part of the altitude team. She had to explain that one to me. She tells me about your huddles and stuff like that. And then I get jealous. I'm like, how come I wasn't invited to UWM? Because I wanted that free meal. That looked good. I'll fly out there. We'll do it together. But you're going to see me getting out there to those events. We always are doing events. We did 2 in Colorado last year. We'll do 2 more because Colorado's kind of a big state the way you set it up. But can't wait to have another one. Did you come to our Boulder one? Is that
Yes,
Northern
I did.
Colorado? I was
That's
trying to think,
actually-
where's Northern Colorado at?
That was the first time that you and I met. And then I also came out to Expert and came out to UWM
Oh,
when
the
Expert
UWM.
did their
Okay.
team. So, I mean, we've had a couple of drinks together, Rich, but we're gonna have to get to know each other better. So yes, please come back out to Colorado. We want you here. We want to have fun with you.
The day after we went to Boulder, it's like 6 a.m, and all of a sudden, Nate Reese is in an airplane flying over Boulder, Colorado. I'm like, dude, what the heck? And I just interviewed that person. I'm like, that was you that took him up. All right. So, we have a pilot. That's Elliot. He got stuck during COVID and he started doing loans, but his specialty is he understands pilots' pay because they have very unique pays and stuff like that. And even the underwriters kind of struggle with it. Everybody that I interview that is higher end has found little niches. Whether I have a Spanish speaking person, they figured out that they can be, we just don't have a lot of multilingual people, bilingual, let alone multilingual. We have a lot of languages. Preet, I think, speaks like 14 languages in California. If finding little niches. Also, I would challenge you this. There are things that you might be good at and other people might be bad at. And it's like, you know what? If you ever come across this, I'm really good at it. We should collaborate on that. And it's like, it's okay to have little partnerships within the industry, especially under the same umbrella like what we have here. Evan Kaufman, Chris Granger, and it's Matt Collette. They're in 3 different time zones, but they meet once a week. They met at UWM, and they make their own partnership, and they share a high-end loan processor, so it's 1/3 the cost. And they each have a specialty: VA, we have FHA, and then we have jumbo. And so they meet and they talk and they share that expertise, but yet they are individual loan officers. And, I see these incredible teams that people have put together underneath the expert platform. Most platforms are designed just a bunch of individuals. They don't want you teaming up. They don't want you, they want you hungry, right? That's what they want. So get out there and work. Put a bunch of debt on so that you're a slave to the system and just keep working. I would challenge people. I don't want that. I want your best. And if the best means I get that one day, because you are on the front line and you are through Altitude, which is a DBA expert. I mean, all weekend long, all day long, I have 600 plus loan originators out there blessing my life. And I'm thinking, there's people at open houses right now this second, and they're representing this company. Look, this person just did a video last night. This person just went to a dinner that helped, kids of foster care, and they have an expert name on their table. And I'm like going, I never thought in those realms, but I always show my wife, I'm like, man, I'm so proud of her. Sheila Bennett does it. That's not her name now because she got remarried, but Sheila does so many things. She has such a big heart in California, and she's constantly, Amanda Rawls, constantly doing things, trying to lift women. We got, Keisha Shannon here in Georgia. She just started these Ladies of Lending, and she's uniting all these ladies across the United States, but a lot of people here in the Atlanta, Georgia area. And I'm watching these people become something bigger than themselves. Not everybody wants to do that, but sometimes when you're around other entrepreneurs, you start to take on that and go, maybe I was meant for something bigger. And I would challenge you, just roll with it. I will back you 100%. You come up with those ideas. How can I help back you? As long as we're staying in the same lane, I don't want to open a car wash with you, but when you have ideas that better the name of expert and help you get more business, I'm all in. I'm all ears. And we talked about that. We're going to start talking about that on our weekly huddles as well from an expert standpoint. But man, I'm so honored that you would come to this platform. Thank you so much for that. I just wanted to make sure I said that. But you thought I was going to let you out of other questions. This is the one question I ask everybody, and I want your true opinion. You're in a different area than Denver and Colorado Springs. You run into people every day. First of all, what's the average cost to be a first-time home buyer in your area? And second of all, what do you talk to people? What's your spiel to people like when they're just sitting on the fence, like they're afraid to do anything? Because you got people that are just sitting there, but one might be willing to take the step and one's going to be held behind. And that gap of ownership versus non-ownership is huge, especially in the state of Colorado. Like you're losing, I mean, what's national? It's 5%. Colorado's gone up a lot in value because a lot of people are coming there. They want that sunshine. They want that health that you guys of any other state seem to just have a lot of happiness there. Very, very fun interviews I do with Colorado people.
Yeah. So what I would tell anybody that's sitting on the fence is if you have to beg, steal, borrow, whatever you have to do, go out and get that home. This is the time. You got to get rid of a car. So you get rid of that car payment. Do it. We got to work on some credit repair. Do it. And you're going to find out real quick people that are committed to wanting to move forward and aren't. Either they're willing to make those sacrifices or they're not. And I mean, that's the cost to a first-time home buyer in Colorado, where our average median home price is $400,000 or $500,000. You don't have the luxury of going out and finding $100,000 or $150,000 house unless it's a manufactured mobile home, which is very hard to resell in Colorado in this market where homes are very expensive. So it is just the same cost to go out and buy a single family residence. Whatever you have to do, whatever that looks like. So have you had conversations with your family members about gifts of equity and things like that? How is anybody supposed to know that they're going to help and support you in life if you haven't let them know what you're trying to do? So I tell my borrowers, and I've had a fair number of borrowers that I've been working with for a couple of years now, that they've started to have those conversations, and some have moved forward and some have made things happen in their life. I mean, everybody's got their chart of what the cost of waiting is. I can tell you it's going to cost you 20 or 30 grand. So it's plain as day if you wait a year. But are you listening to me? Are you hearing me? Because if you're not hearing me and you're not looking at the big picture and you're not listening, you're just going to keep doing what you've been doing and
Right.
I don't see a big change coming. So that is what I tell people. And it's a bucket. You know, there's a bucket of people that they aren't ready right now, but then they see the big picture 6 months from now. And then they call me and my phone rings again and we start this conversation over again. But if I can just be here to be a sounding board that you spitball these ideas off of, eventually it's going to turn into something. You called me once because you have a motive to want to do something better in your life or make a change. You're going to do it. And if it's not with me, that's okay. Like I said, there's plenty of business out there for everybody. And if you go with somebody else, I mean, it's your detriment because I'm a really fun LO. I'm not a stuffy baker across the table. Like, we're having good times over here. So, but I get it. I get it. If you want to sit and wait, sit and wait. But don't come at me and have that conversation that you want to do something and then not do something. It's the same in our business. Execute. I wake up every morning prepared to go to a meeting, whatever that meeting is. You've got to execute. All right? You write your calendar. Do your things, make your piles. I am not an organized person. Like if you could actually see behind my screen, it's just absolute pure chaos because I am so busy. But I thrive in that. I have to have all my packages and my things organized because this is going here and that's going there. And that is what I live for. So stop sitting on the fence, but execute, even if you got to have piles of crap laying around everywhere until you can get it executed. At least it's sitting there reminding you.
I love it. I love it. I appreciate your honesty. We have moms, we have dads, we have single moms, single dads, we have blended families. We have people that are from all over the world that now have moved to California. And, give you a second here. Is yours still recording? Okay. I think we have, it might have been an internet on my side for a second there. But it's still going on my side. I'll edit that out. But I just want to, here's my thing. I wanted to capture who Vanessa is as a loan officer, but also as the human side of it, because so many people package us up and they don't want to go into that. And here's the true story of it. When I explain to people, I used to help my real estate agents do open houses. I'd go there and people would, oh, you're the loan officer? I got it taken care of. Don't need it. And I'm like going, God, no one will talk to me. I got my real estate license and I called people up, hey, can I do open houses for you? And I'd go do an open house, do open houses for your real estate agents. And if anybody comes, you just pass it on to them. Oh, heck yeah, do them for me, Rich. People would talk to me all day long about loans and what their financing was. I would do the first time home buyers. I could get 100 people through there a weekend. People are, oh, you're going to do the $1 million homes? No, because there's like 3 people to come through those. They're all looky-loos. I want the first time home buyer. They all come in. Some of them have financing, but I could get leads. If I did that January through like April, sometimes May, and I only had to do like 2 weekends a month. But yes, I would do them Saturday and Sunday, and it helped my real estate agents. And then I got what I needed out of it. And it would usually propel me into those better months where traditionally when it gets hotter and spring comes, like the normal business starts. But December, January, February can sometimes be very slow. Add on traditionally and then add on higher rates. We all have our methodology, but those are things I always noticed. I love finding ways to overcome the obstacles, not just for myself in business, but also listening to what I have. I know how to fix people's credit. If I need business, I can go put it out there and say, I fix people's credit. It may not be a 30-day thing, but so many people think, oh, I need an 800 to be a homeowner. It's like, no, you don't. I need you to be a 620 for this program, a 640 for this program. And guess what? You'll get the same rate as the guy with an 800 because we're going to go FHA or USDA, or by the way, do you possibly qualify for VA? Let's have that conversation. But being in the moment and understanding all that, and you just listen to people and they start bringing those little tidbits and those little nuggets and you hear it and you go, and you're ready for them. It takes a little bit of time, but you are all in. Your team is all in. You're surrounded by quality leadership in your team. I think Ken was also a top 25, not just Stephanie. So Ken's going to be in there too, and he's on the Colorado side. So you have 2 different markets. You have 2 top people on your team, and I haven't gone through the whole team yet. There could be more people there. But having those mentors leading you every single day, they're going to lead you right out of this. And all you got to do is just sit back and go, okay, do 1, do 2. And you showed me your calendar because I was telling you we were talking about after Stephanie, I started using the calendar and I started saying my time is too valuable for the hit and runs. If Vanessa has an hour scheduled with me, Vanessa's going to get an hour of my time. I'm not going to let people keep interrupting me. Oh, I just need a second. Cool. Here's my calendar. Jump on it. Or text me or email me. And when in between these people who have scheduled my time, I'll try and answer a few questions. Otherwise, we got to find a secondary person, because Rich isn't the only one that can answer questions. And that's part of the growth, is knowing where can I get the answers to my questions. If Stephanie's not available, do I go to Ken? If Ken's not available, oh, we have this incredible processor. I can go ask her those questions. Hayden, over at UWM. Let me use the tools available. And that's what successful people do. They're not waiting around for anybody. Hey, this is my go-to. It's not there. Boom. I have my secondary. I have my third. I'm going to get my answer, and I'm going to get back to my realtor, back to my borrower. And sometimes we just want the easiest path. But if you want to be a go-to person, just let them know. Sometimes I can't answer a question, but I also can say, hey, you stumped me on that one, but you know what? I know someone who can. Give me 20 minutes. I'll be right back. And I follow through. Now, that is my key. I follow through. People offer me a lot. I don't know this guy, and he called me back, and sure as hell answered my question. Nobody else calls me back. And I will lead people, because I've had people that can't qualify now, but I know I can get them to qualify 6 months from now, and I walk them through it. It's up to them if they want to do it. But, so many people are just transactional, like, oh, I can't help you. Boom, I'm off to the next one. That's the salespersons in our industry, and I'm just not that person. Most of the people expert are entrepreneurs. They're not that. They're trying to build a quality relationship because they know it could lead to 2, 3, 4, 5 transactions in the future. Oh, hi, you do vanilla lattes also? Oh, I like it. Yeah, just stock them. Yeah, they're doing the same thing we are. If they're a high-end person that treats it like a full-time job, they're out rustling up business because they're doing what their success track and success formula is well. And when you can put two of those together, and sometimes that's the best conversation, what's working for you? Because we have similar industries and we can complement each other. And if you can figure out patterns that are working for you, you become a success track. Make sure you're letting people know so they're like, gosh, what are you doing? Imagine a realtor reaching out to you going, what are you doing? Stephanie has realtors reaching out to her, right? They're like, you help so-and-so, so-and-so, so-and-so. Now, you're making an impact when they start calling you. And I would challenge you, just like you said, find the similarities in the people. I'm not looking for a bunch of realtors. I'm looking for the right realtors that complement me, and I complement them. I want relationships. I don't want transactions. There's some people that could give me a lot of deals, but they're horrible people to work with, and we don't get along. So therefore, I respect you enough to say, I'm not the right person for you. And I got to tell you, they call it the takeaway. Who are the people who want to work with you? The people you say, you know what? I'm not going to be able to work with you. And it's like, now they want to work twice as much. It's like, oh, you're not understanding. It's just not a good fit. And you don't want to act stuck up. It's just like, I know my limitations, and you're a person that calls every night at 9 o'clock screaming and with your hair on fire. And I can't work that way, Look, I can talk your ear off all day long, but this is what I want to tell you. I want to say thank you for your partnership. Thank you for whether I get you a day or if I get you 20 years. Thank you for your time with Expert, because you make us look good, not vice versa. It's the strength of everybody that we're together. I call people partners. I don't call them employees. I'm expected to bring something to the table. You bring something, and we do it together to bring that good experience. When you're successful, I'm successful. The more successful you are, the more successful your realtors are, the more successful this platform is. I'm the last one to get paid, and that's by design. If everything has gone correct, then I'll get paid. Most people build platforms of how they can get paid first, and then they just push it back on you guys. I've never understood that. Unless they're on the front line doing the work, bringing the deals in, they should be the last ones to get paid. So I know what you're doing. Your kids have a huge inspiration in front of them every day. And I promise your husband's going to love, love, love you here in about 6 to 8 months, because all the hard work you're doing is going to fill your pipeline. And I want 2025 to be an incredible year for you. I hope you make more money than you've ever made in your life. And I don't know what your past life is, but this platform allows for some big dollars to be made. and it's all off your back, off your shoulders, your hard work. So congratulations for all you're doing. I like it. I like it. Well, there you have it. I did not pay her to say these things. I promise. But I will say this. Thank you, thank you, thank you for your time today, Vanessa. But like I always say when I shut down an incredible interview, stay thirsty, my friends. Thank you, Vanessa. I appreciate that today. All right. You have a good day and have a blessed day.